Perfect. So as you guys know, this year we're having our Techno Creativity Hackathon. Imagine, create, design, and narrate. And for those girls who are new to Caribbean Girls Hack, you may be wondering, what is a hackathon? Now, don't think that we're asking you to do anything illegal, okay? We're not asking you to break into anybody's computer and steal data. Our hacking is all about ethical hacking, right? We hack for good. And so a typical hackathon is an event, very, very fast, but ours, well, we give you more time. And it requires you to collaborate with people who are creative thinkers just like yourselves, who are very much wanting to use technology for innovative problem solving. So that's why a lot of what we're going to talk about later is about how to form your team, because this is all about teamwork. All right. So we're talking about techno creativity. And what does that mean? We're going to use the creative and artistic design with tech to create your solution, but you're going to lead, right? With your innovation, with your innovative solution and your creative solution, and you're going to use the tech to support and amplify your idea. So what we're going to see when you develop your concept is just how good you are at creating something that's exciting, interesting, and engaging, and then how you're going to use the tech underneath that, almost invisible to that, to amplify your creative expression and your creative idea. So who can enter the hackathon? So girls between the age of 12 to 23 years old, and that's all of you here, you're going to form your own team, or we will assign you to a team with other girls from across the Caribbean. And we'll talk, don't get too caught up with that. Once you've indicated in your registration that you need to be assigned to a team, we're going to deal with that and we'll get back to you about it. Okay. And then we'll also tell you where you can go. If you have your team ready to go, we'll tell you exactly where to go from here to actually register your team. So you heard me talking about all of the sessions that we had this week to sensitize you around the topic areas that we're going to be addressing through the hackathon. And again, those are going to be on the notice board. All of the recordings are posted on the notice board, so you can go back in and hear exactly what our amazing speakers had to say around these topics. So we have climate change and sustainability, gender-based violence or intimate partner violence, saving our oceans, and that's the blue economy. And trust me, in order for you to really shine in this competition, you have to have a really good understanding of the topic that you're going to be designing a solution around. So please go to the notice board and take some time. If you all want to do it as a team, but take some time to listen to the topics. And I would suggest that before you make any kind of decision as to the area that you want to pursue, listen to all of the recordings. They're really interesting, and you may just find something that you never thought about before that sparks a real match, that gets the fire burning in you. Or, I really thought I wanted to do GBV, but maybe I should do Saving Our Oceans because there's something that was said that just really resonated with you. So I'm really encouraging everybody to go and listen to all of the recordings on the notice board when we're finished. All right, so we're talking a lot about the creative. And as I said, we're going to be focusing more on the creative, less on leading with the tech. So the technology is going to be used to amplify your creative presentation. And these are the presentations that we're going to ask you to focus on. So animation story, consider your story, your characters, the visual style, the length of the animation. If you're doing music videos, then you want to consider your concept, your lyrics, your style of music, your visuals. And short docudrama, same thing. You have to consider your content. What's your story going to be? Is it going to have a main character and then you're going to build a story around this main character? Is it going to have 3 main characters? Who are these people? What's going to be the style of your docudrama? Are you going to do it a combination of comedy and tragedy? Are you going to do tragedy and, you know, drama? What is your docudrama going to be all about? One other area that we would like you to consider is photo storyboarding. So again, telling your story through photos. And I mean, some of the amazing photos that you can get from the ocean. I mean, it's just incredible. I can just see a lot of wonderful photo storyboards for the people who did Save Our Oceans. So once again, you consider your story, your characters, your style, your photos, and the length of your actual story. And vlogging, of course, very important. What's going to be a topic and what's going to be your style? How are you going to actually communicate your story through vlogs? Because vlogs can be extremely entertaining and you can intersperse a video in your vlog. So it's multifaceted, because each one of these can be quite time consuming and can require a lot of focus. We're not recommending that you use more than one modality. So one of these, either animation story or music video, because what we want you to do is we want to ensure that you're not skimming the surface. We want you to get really deep in your solution. So if you're doing a music video, we don't want it to be 3 seconds. We want a proper music video that tells a story, and we can see the music and we can hear your lyrics and we can see the dancing and the costuming, all of that. Same thing for the docudrama, same thing for your photo storyboard. It can't just be that you're done in 3 seconds. We want to see a fully developed story using photography. And of course, your animation story, that's like a film on its own. You have to have a start, you have to have a middle, you have to have an end. What's the climax of it? Who's the main character? Just to give you guys an idea as to what we're expecting and what the judges are going to be expecting. So the competition structure, of course, you have to have a team. I spoke about that before. And your team should be comprised of 3 to 5 girls and 1 team captain. We leave it to you guys to choose the team captain, but the team captain is going to become our main point of contact with the team. So if we have anything to send out to your team, it will go to the team captain, who will then send it on to the team members. So when you get the link to register your team, you'll notice that we're asking you to name your team and come up with some really, really interesting and fun names. And we'll also ask you to tell us, out of all the girls who are on the team, who's the team captain. So,
excuse me, before you move on, Bridget.
Yes.
Cyan is asking if it is that someone and I is in a group, would they be able to be placed in a group even though it's only 2 of them?
Yes, and I'll take all the questions at the end, Kadisha. So you can we'll just respond.
Oh, okay.
Let me just say that at the end, we're going to go back and take all questions. So don't worry, just keep posting your questions in the chat, and we have a whole question and answer session at the end. So I'll answer all questions. Kevin will answer questions. Nicole will answer questions. But the short answer to that is yes. If you only have 2 people, we'll find other girls, because trust me, there are a number of girls who are here wanting to be a part of a team, okay? Oops, sorry. So this was basically just our, this was our schedule. And as I said, we are now at the 12th, and this is not Hackathon Next Steps. Sorry, that's an error. This is the rerun of Hackathon 101. Hackathon Next Steps happens tomorrow, the 13th. Same link. Okay, so this gives you just an overview of what the schedule was of our workshops. And as I said before, don't worry, all of the recordings are available on the notice board. All right, so how are you going to develop your campaign concept for presentation to the judges? So just so you know, round one, we are not expecting that if you chose animation or you chose a docudrama or you chose a music video that you're going to come with your final product. What we want to see more than anything else is what is your campaign concept. And you can choose how you want to present that concept to the judges. Okay, so if you're using animation, you may want to do a PowerPoint, you may want to do a video of you guys talking your concept through. We are going to leave it to you. You may want to give just a little snippet of what your animation may look like, you know, maybe a little snippet of your main character. We're not going to tell you more than that because we will have about 100 concepts being presented in round one. And we are going to narrow those down to approximately 25 to 30. That's going to be the final number that will proceed to round two. Okay, so we're moving from 100 to 30. So you know that your concept is going to have to be good and engaging. So what we're doing now is just giving you some guidance as to what your concept needs to include. So first and foremost, you tell us who is your team and the topic that you've chosen, why you've chosen the topic, and what is the problem and why is it important. So you don't just say, I've chosen Save Our Oceans. There are lots of issues that are associated with saving our oceans. What is the problem that you want to address and why is this important? So your concept should answer these questions. What modality have you chosen and why? Okay, so have you chosen animation, photo storyboarding, vlogging, what was the other one? Docudrama, music video. Why have you chosen it? Is very important as well for you to address when you're when you're presenting your concept to the judges. And then of course you have to describe your solution. So what is the story that you're telling and who are your characters? What are the lyrics? Okay, so if it is you're doing a music video, you have to find a way to communicate the lyrics of the video to the judges in this first round. We're not asking you to have a music video ready to play and have everybody in costume and dancing and singing, but you should have some of your lyrics available for the judges to be able to see, and you need to present those lyrics. Same thing for your docudrama. You should have, if not all of your story, you should have a very high level overview of what your story is going to tell. What and how will you use visuals? Okay, so you're going to have a docudrama. How are you going to use other visuals to augment whatever it is that you're going to be doing on your own? Are you going to act it out? Are you going to use photos? What and how will you use your visuals? And who is your target audience? So this animation is targeting girls between the ages of 13 to 14. This photo storyboard is targeting girls, boys, adults from 0 to 100. You know, who is your target audience? Your audience also doesn't just have to be girls, even though you are girls. You can have a wide audience of persons and age groups. So don't feel as if because this is a girls hackathon that your audience has to be a girl. we've had situations in the past where teams have actually had as their main character when exploring gender-based violence a boy. So there you go. All right, the process as well, we're continuing with what you need to include in your campaign concept for your presentation to the judges. The process, so you have to show what's going to be your schedule. Okay, so from today onwards to the end of the round 2, what's going to be your schedule? This week, you're going to be accessing all of your photos. Next week, you're going to be putting them together. Following week, you're going to be, or this week, you're going to be ideating and coming up with your design concept. And don't worry, we have a whole session on ideation and design. So for those of you who don't know what that means, we have a session on it if you get to the next stage. So what is your schedule? How will you produce your project? So what you're going to do in your pre-production, your production, and your post-production. Okay, so remember, this is what's going to happen in round 2. So you're trying to convince the judges that your project or your solution is going to be amazing, and so you should be one of the 30. And then you pitch your idea. Okay, and of course, with your pitch, at the end of it, the judges must see very clearly how your project addresses the topic and what do you hope to achieve personally with the project. Okay, so what's the impact you want to make on the world in the Caribbean with this project? All right. So that was round 1. And I just want to briefly go through round 2 because I don't necessarily want you guys to get too hung up on round 2 because you have to get past round 1 first before you get to round 2. But if you do get to round 2, we have a whole series of creative training sessions that will be happening in March. Design thinking and ideation, more technical know-how around animation, and how to create an animation story, more technical guidance on how to produce a music video. Same thing for a docudrama, because you don't just get up and do it. So we're going to get experts in these areas to come in and do sessions with you to give you more expertise in the area, to improve your skills as it relates to utilizing technology to produce these types of solutions. And of course, we spoke about photo storyboarding, vlogging, and finally, we're going to bring someone in to help you with making your winning pitch. And this is going to be your final pitch. These are the top 30 and how you're going to make that winning pitch to the judges to determine who are the top winners of this year's Techno Creativity Hackathon. And of course, once all of these sessions are done, we let you go into the world, go forth and produce your solution. And so now you're equipped with the technology skills that you need in order for you to bring to life your winning concept and come up with your winning final solution for presentation to the judges. Okay, so we just have a repeat of what I said, pitch your creative production idea. And we also will have, as a part of the final round 2, we will have activities for observers. And we hope to have approximately 300 girls. And I guess we're going to open this up to guys as well, right, Nicole? Observers. We always have
when it comes to the observers. Yeah. We had so many guys that came the last time.
Yeah.
And they can even use like TikTok and that kind of stuff to write. Bridget, we had somebody that was asking us if she could do comic strips because she loves comic strips and that kind of thing. So
I think the comic strips would be similar to her photo storyboards. I mean, in terms of
the animating her comic strip, something like that, right?
Yeah. And so we're gonna have a whole series of activities on the final day when you guys are pitching, which is going to be our pitch and awards day. We will have a whole host of activities for observers, so you can get your friends to come. They're going to be able to hop into the room when it's your turn to pitch. They'll be able to see you, and then they can hop back out and participate in a virtual reality session. Other very, very interesting sessions around tech and what are some of the things, the real cutting edge things that are happening in the world of tech. So the observers are going to be able to join us on that final day of round 2. All right, so this is just a little bit of a timeline so you can easily see what's going to happen in round 1. So of course, we still have registration happening, and that date has been extended to the 15th of February. We're keeping registration open to the 15th. We had the training workshops, and this is one, and tomorrow will be the final one. But you know that all of the workshops are available on the notice board, so no need to worry. If you missed anything, it's right there on the notice board. And from the 14th of February to February 28th, you will be able to develop your campaign concept using those areas that I just went through that the judges will be looking for to see which of the campaign concepts should advance to round 2. And then from March 1st to March 6th, you will be pitching to the judges. Now, remember I said we expect to have 100 solutions, okay? So it means that you are going to be assigned to a particular day and time when you're going to pitch. So we have to have a number of days because we can't have everybody pitching on the one day, it's just 100. And so we have several different panels of judges, and you're going to be told which day and the time that your team will join us virtually to pitch your campaign concept to the judges. All right. So that's round 1. Round 2, just reiterating what I said before, March 8th to March 15th is when we're going to have the training workshops around animation, photo storyboarding, docudrama, music video. And of course, by now you would have determined which of the modalities you are really excited about. So you won't have to attend all the training workshops unless you want to. You would just attend the workshop that's specifically focused on what it is that you are doing. So if it's animation, then you attend the training workshop around animation. And we're also going to give you a toolkit, right? So you can access the toolkit, and we're going to give that toolkit to you from round 1. So you can go in and dabble around with, various apps around animation. We'll also be giving you lots of guidance in the toolkit around all the other modalities that you can use to help you expand on your concepts. Okay. Likewise, for round 2, between March 16th and March 30th, which is another 2 weeks, you will then develop your campaign elements. Okay. So this is the final, your solution, right? This is when you're going to develop your final solution. And then on March 31st, the 30 teams that made it to round 2 will pitch, and you'll be awarded your prizes. And what are those prizes? So tech gadgets, high school and university bursaries, and of course, internships. Being a part of the Caribbean Girls Hack community, being a part of our alumni association, you have access to a lot of opportunities. We've had girls at the university level win the hackathon and go on as a result of their internships that they were awarded through participation in the hackathon they have gone on to get jobs with those companies that they interned with. And right now we have one of our major supporters in the financial industry reaching out to Caribbean Girls Hack to build their pipeline of tech talent. So they want to know who are the girls who have participated in our hackathon. And they want to be able to interview you for possible job opportunities. So welcome to the new world of Girls in Tech. All right. If you haven't registered, suppose you're sitting in with your friend, or if you haven't registered, if members of your team haven't registered and you're just the only person who has registered, get your team to register now using the registration link below right here. Take a screenshot of it, please, and register now. Every individual girl has to register before the team registers, okay? So before we are going to accept your team registration, every member of the team has to go in and register individually at this link, See Girls Hack Registration. Okay? Then once all your team members are registered, you can complete the team registration link that we're going to be posting on the notice board. And I'll also have it available during the session tomorrow. The what's next session, okay?